How's it going, everyone? Pop-Tart here. Welcome back to the Aeroteam channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build the Boeing 717-200 in 1:1 scale. Originally developed by McDonnell Douglas as the MD-95, a derivative of the MD-80 family, it was rebranded as the 717 when Boeing acquired McDonnell Douglas shortly before its completion. Compared to the MD-80, its fuselage was shortened by 7 meters, the cockpit avionics were modernized with those developed for the MD-11, and the aging JT-8D engines were replaced with the larger and more efficient Rolls-Royce BR-715s. It first rolled out in 1998, but proved to be nowhere near the commercial success of the MD-80, with only 150 built in total. And today, only 3 operators still hold it in service: Delta, QantasLink, and Hawaiian. It is nonetheless a beloved part of aviation history, and will certainly be missed when it departs for good. Hopefully, though, it will be many more years before that comes. Now, as for the build itself, we have covered the MD-80 on the channel previously, and you can find it in a card up on screen now if you'd like as well. However, there are just enough differences all around that this will not be one of our conversion tutorials, and we'll be building the 717 from scratch today. So, as I mentioned, this is in 1:1 scale, meaning that every 1 meter in real life is equivalent to 1 block exactly. If you are building an airport project, or something in this scale, this will be perfectly to scale with all of our other 1:1 aircraft on the channel. Now, before we get started, as always, this build does make use of our very own custom Aeroteam texture pack. A download link to the latest version of this pack can be found in the description below if you don't have it already. Now, if you are stuck using the default pack, if you're following along on console or something, I will always do my best to show you how to go about building this in default, but please do keep in mind that I highly recommend using the Aeroteam pack instead if you can, as it'll look much better. Anyways, with that all out of the way, let's get going on this tutorial. Alright, so first things first, here's some dimensions for you to help you figure out where you want to put this. This aircraft is 38 blocks long, 27 blocks wide, and 10 blocks tall from the base of the landing gear to the tip of the vertical stabilizer. So, just keep that all in mind as you're getting started. Now, as for materials, here in the Aeroteam pack, we're using the wool material, coupled with the purpose stairs and slabs for the smooth and shiny white coloration for the aircraft. If you're building in default, you'll probably want to use quartz or smooth quartz as an alternative, so just use those instead whenever I'm building. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be referring to these as the wool stairs and slabs, but again, that's the purpose stairs and slabs here in the Aeroteam pack. So, with that all out of the way, let's get going on Layer 1. Alright, so for Layer 1 here, if you are building this aircraft landed on the ground, as I am here, you'll be wanting to start Layer 1 2 blocks off the ground, with a 1 block gap in between, like so. If you're building the aircraft in flight though, then that's not something you have to worry about, and you can just start wherever you'd like, but please do keep in mind that 1 block spacing otherwise. So, we'll be starting off here with a single wool top slab, and then we'll be placing 13 blocks of wool going back from this here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, like so. Next, we'll be coming up to the front here of this row, and we'll grab the stone buttons. Skipping this first solid block of wool here, out to either side of the second block, we'll place a stone button on either side, like this, to start off the pitot tubes on the nose of the aircraft. Actually, these are the angle of attack vanes. We'll be getting to the pitot tubes in the next layer. So, back from this now, we'll be placing 5 wool top slabs on either side right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, we're going to grab the torch, and we'll use some World Edit trickery here to place a torch on the side of this wool top slab here. So, if you have access to World Edit, what you can do is place a temporary block out to the side here, with a torch on its side. Grab a stick, or any item you'd like, type /repl0 to switch that to the replace tool. Select the torch by left-clicking, and paste over the temporary block by right-clicking, like so. Otherwise, if you're without access to World Edit, another thing you can try doing is using the debug stick, which is /give@p debug stick, I believe. However, this is not a utility we have access to on the server here, so it won't be something that I'll be demonstrating. But if you are familiar with its functionality, then you can use that instead to trick these items into staying on transparent blocks like this. And if you don't have access to either of those utilities, then these are details you can kind of leave out if you'd like. They're not entirely crucial, but they do help with the accuracy of the build if you are able to. So, this torch here that we just placed down is for the runway turn-off lights on the side of the aircraft here. Next, we'll place a single wool top slab going back from this. And, oops, we'll place this on the left side as well. So, torch there, select, and paste over. Now, out to either side of this single wool top slab that we just placed there, we're going to place a temporary block out to the side again, and this time it'll be a stone button on either side, like this, for the static ports on the side. Next, we have 5 wool top slabs going back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and that'll bring you in line with the last of the wool right there. Next, on the underside here, we're going to float on underneath right here, and in line with the first wool top slab right here, we're going to come to the center row of wool. We'll skip 2 blocks going back from this here, so that's 1 right there, and 2. And on the third block back right here, we're going to place a stone button underneath that wool block aligned parallel with the aircraft, like this. Next, we'll grab a lever, float on back again, and we'll skip 1 block going back, and then place a lever right there underneath the second block. This will be flipped facing backwards for a radio antenna on the underside here. That should be in line with that torch right there. Next, we'll skip 1 block going back here, and on the second block, we have a jungle button aligned parallel with the aircraft like this, which in the Aeroteam pack is a wool texture like this. In default, you'll just want to use birch instead for a kind of white texture. It's a little tan, but that's why we're using wool here instead to blend with that. So, that'll be it for the forward fuselage detailing there, and we can continue backwards with the wing box. So, back from this now, we have 5 blocks of wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and box this off to either side, like so. Next, we're going to place a single wool block in the center right there, with a quartz full block on either side for the gear doors. Next, we have a row of 3 across the center right there, and underneath the center block, we're going to float underneath again, and we'll place a dark oak button underneath the center block of wool right there, aligned parallel with the aircraft, for the red beacon light on the underbelly right here. Again, you'll see this is red. This is another Aeroteam texture utility, so if you don't have the red button right here, use an acacia button instead in default. Next, we have another row of 3 wool across the center right there, 1, 2, and 3. Then back from the center block, 2 blocks going back right here, 1 and 2. Underneath this second block back right there, we're going to place another lever right there, flipped facing backwards, for another radio antenna on the underside right there. Next, out to either side of these side wool blocks right here, we'll place 3 wool top slabs going back, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, with a single upside-down wool stair in the center right there. Next, we'll grab the quartz slabs, and we have 2 quartz top slabs going back right here, and this will be to start off the emergency escape stairs at the rear of the aircraft right here. But once we have that, that is everything for Layer 1. Alright, so for Layer 2 here, we'll be starting immediately on top of this wool top slab at the front of the previous layer right here. On top of this, we have 1 wool half slab right there, with a single block of wool going back from that right there. Out to either side of this, we'll place a tripwire hook, like so, for the pitot tubes on the nose of the aircraft. And then 1 more block going back right there, with 1 more out to either side, like this. Next, we have a stone block in the center right there, to kind of block off the cockpit section, with 1 more wool block out to either side, like this. Next, we'll grab the block of quartz. We have a single block of quartz back from both of those wools right there to start off the forward doors. Then we'll place 4 blocks of wool going back from both of these right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out to either side here, we'll place a jungle button, like so. Then we have 4 more blocks of wool going back right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then out to either side of this block right here, we have another torch, like so. This will be for the wing light on the side of the aircraft right here. And I believe I did forget to mention this in the last layer, actually, but if you are without the Aeroteam pack again, then a stick sticking out of the side of the aircraft here with the default torch model might look a little bit funny for these lights here, so you can just use buttons instead if you'd like for these. But otherwise, this custom lamp model here gets the job done much more nicely. So, going back to this now, we have another set of 4 wool blocks right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, we'll grab the quartz blocks again. We have a single quartz block on either side right there. Then a wool block back from those. And then another single quartz full block right there. That'll be to start off the overwing emergency exits right there. Then we have 7 blocks of wool on either side right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like so. Next, back right here, we have an upside-down wool stair on either side right there. Then a single wool top slab back from that. Then with the quartz slabs right there, we have 2 quartz half slabs in the center right there to finish off that ramp at the rear. And then behind these wool top slabs right there, we'll place a polished granite top slab on either side right there, which in the Aeroteam pack here is a red concrete texture. Just use bricks instead in default. But these represent some red emergency markings on the tail cone of the aircraft right here. So then between those 2 red top slabs right there, we have a single wool top slab, and then one more wool top slab back from that right there. And that is everything for layer 2. Alright, so for layer 3 here, we'll start with a single stone button on top of this forwardmost wool full block from the previous layer right there. And that's just for another set of the pitot tubes wrapped around the nose of the aircraft there. So, back from this now, out to either side right here, on top of these outermost wool blocks of that row of 3 right there, we're going to place a single birch trapdoor on the bottom half right there. In the Aeroteam pack here, the birch trapdoor is a wool texture like this to blend with the aircraft fuselages. In default, instead, you'll probably just want to use an iron trapdoor for the white coloration. So, then between these two here, we have a single wool top slab right there, with a stone brick stair behind this right here. This will be an upside-down stair facing forwards right there to seal off the cockpit on the inside. Then an upside-down wool stair out to either side facing forwards, like so. Next, we'll place an upside-down quartz stair facing backwards right here. So that's one on either side, like so. And then 12 upside-down wool stairs facing backwards right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, like so. Next, a single upside-down quartz stair, a single upside-down wool stair, and a single upside-down quartz stair, all still facing to the rear of the aircraft like this, to finish off the overwing exits right there. Then we have 3 upside-down wool stairs right here, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Then a row of 8 wool blocks on either side going back right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then, diagonally in towards the center right here, a single row of 3 going back. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that is everything for layer 3. Alright, so for layer 4 here, we'll be starting on top of the stone upside-down stair from the previous layer right here, with a single wool half slab on top of that there. And then a wool stair facing forwards behind that. Back from this now, we'll place a row of 28 wool blocks right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Should fall 1 block short of the previous layer right there. We'll come back up to the front again, and we have a single wool half slab out to either side of that wool stair right there. This is going to be a row of 26 in total, counting that one we just placed. So that's 1 there already, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. And same thing on the right side as well. So that's 1 there already, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Like so. Back up to the front now. We'll be stepping this first solid block of wool right here, not the wool stair, but the full block of wool immediately behind that. And on the second block back right here, we have a jungle button aligned parallel with the aircraft, like this. Then skip a block again right here, and on the second block, we have a lever flipped facing backwards. And then we're going to skip 9 blocks going back right here. So I'm going to use the stone blocks here, just to differentiate this from the aircraft as a temporary block to count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right there. On the 10th block back right here, we're going to grab a dark oak button. We'll place that right there aligned parallel with the aircraft for the beacon light on the top of the aircraft right there. Then skipping 1 block going back right there, on the second block we have 2 jungle buttons aligned parallel with the aircraft right here. And that'll do it for the fuselage detailing on the top right there. So we'll just come around to the rear here, and let's see. We'll first place, on this first full block of wool right there, exposed on the sides beside that last wool half slab right there. We'll place a torch out to either side right there for the logo lights, and then an acacia button behind that for a vent on the tail cone of the aircraft right there. Then we're going to grab snow layers, and we'll place down a set of 3 snow layers right here, immediately behind this block of wool right here. 1, 2, and 3. That'll finish off the curvature of the tail cone right there. Now, in the past, I have had these snow layers melt on me after I finish building this. So if that does happen to you, then something you can try using instead is roll that again to prevent that from melting away. So what we're going to do is place down a temporary block in its place right there. We'll place down a set of 3 snow layers just anywhere, 1, 2, and 3. Grab that with the replace tool. Make sure you're in //fast as well. So select that and then paste over the temporary block right there. And that should get that to stay in place, hopefully without getting a block update, which will keep it from ever melting in the future. So if you do find that it melts on you, then you can try using that instead. Otherwise, if you can't get it to work, 3 snow layers is just a single set of snow off from a half slab right there, so you can just use a half slab instead, but we like to use the snow layers for a little bit more accurate shaping right there. Anyways, once you have that, that is everything for layer 4, and the fuselage of the 717 is done. Alright, so next up here, we'll be building the vertical stabilizer. So, for this, apart from the last wool block on the top layer of the fuselage right here, we're going to come diagonally outwards right there with a single wool full block on top of that set of snow layers right there. Now, that has given it a block update here, so you might have to redo that wool that it took from the previous layer. But once you have that wool block right there, it's going to be a second one on top of it right here, then a wool top slab going back from it, then a single wool full block on top right there. Next we have another wool block up there with a wool stair behind it facing backwards like this, and then a wool half slab on top right there. Then we have another wool half slab going forwards right there. Then down from that top wool full block right there, we have 2 smooth stone full blocks going forwards there for the stabilizer trim. On top of this here, we have 2 sets of 3 snow layers each, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Again, if these do melt on you, which I have had them do that as well, then you might have to use that wool that it took again with pasting over temporary blocks in its place right there. But once you have those 3 snow layers there, then next we'll place a wool stair facing forwards from that smooth stone right there. Then a wool full block underneath. Next we have a wool block going diagonally down from that right there. Then another wool block diagonal there, with a single half slab right there to finish off the ventral strake. Then we have just the single outline right here, which we're just going to fill in with the wool blocks. And that will finish off the vertical stabilizer. Alright, so for the horizontal stabilizer here, we're going to first come to this set of 2 smooth stone from the stabilizer trim right here. Out to the side of this foremost one right there, we'll place a single smooth stone half slab right here. I'll start with the outline and filling in of the left horizontal stabilizer first, then I'll build the right one afterwards. So, from that smooth stone half slab right there, we have a single cobblestone slab diagonal from that right there, then 2 cobblestone slabs coming out right here, then 1 cobblestone slab diagonal, and then 1 smooth stone slab diagonal right there. Directly behind this here, we have another smooth stone half slab, then diagonal forwards from that right here, a stone brick half slab, like so. This will be starting off the elevator detailing on the rear of the horizontal stabilizer right here. Then directly in towards the center right here, we're going to come up a half slab layer with a stone brick top slab right there. Then 2 stone brick top slabs coming in towards the center, and 1 stone brick top slab diagonal to that right there. And now to fill in these spaces right here, it's just going to be 2 smooth stone top slabs in those 2 innermost spaces right there. And in this outermost outline right there, we have a single stone brick, or smooth stone, my apologies, smooth stone half slab right there. And that'll do it for the horizontal stabilizer. So we'll do the same thing on the right side of the aircraft here. So, foremost smooth stone right there, 1 smooth stone half slab, 1 cobblestone diagonal, 2 cobblestone slabs coming out right there, 1 cobblestone slab diagonal, and a smooth stone slab diagonal right there. 1 directly back from it right there, then skip a block, and the foremost one right there, stone brick top slab in towards the center, then up a slab layer right there, stone brick top slab right there, then 2 stone brick top slabs in towards the center, and 1 top slab diagonal right there. Then with the smooth stone now, 2 smooth stone top slabs right there, and 1 half slab on the lower layer right there in that outline. And that is everything for the horizontal stabilizers. Alright, so next up here, we'll be building the wings. So we're going to come down to the wing box from the very first layer of the fuselage right here, and where we have this single, or this row of wool full blocks on the outer layer right here, we're going to skip 2 blocks going back right here, so that's 1 and 2, and on the third wool full block right here, we have a single cobblestone top slab out to the side right there. Back from this here, we have 3 smooth stone top slabs, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and then a single stone brick top slab right there to start off the flap detailing at the rear. Then forwards from this here, we're going to skip that stone brick slab right there. On top of the rearmost smooth stone slab, we have a jungle trapdoor right there, which in the Aeroteam pack is a smooth stone texture like this. Again, just use iron trapdoors in default. Then forwards from this here, 2 smooth stone half slabs right there. That will give us our wing root outline to work from. So next, we're going to be building the outline of the entire wing itself in kind of a similar fashion as we did on the horizontal stabilizers right here. So starting at the leading edge right here, from that cobblestone half slab, or top slab rather, we're going to come directly out to the side of this right here with a, let's see, we're first going to come up a half slab layer right there. So we have a single cobblestone half slab right there. Next, we have 2 cobblestone half slabs out to the side, then 1 and 2 diagonal this time, then directly out to the side right here, 1 half slab up a layer right there. Next we have 2 cobblestone half slabs out to the side, then another set of 2 cobblestone half slabs out to the side right there, and then a single smooth stone slab diagonal right there. And behind this we have a second one right there to make it a row of 2. Next, we're going to grab a red wool carpet right here and place that on top of the forwardmost block of the 2 right there for the red navigation light on the left side of the aircraft right here. Then we're going to grab a temporary block and torches, and from this row of 2 right here, we have a temporary block forwards and backwards with a torch pasted over the rear and forward block right there, just like this. So this will be for the fold-out landing light on the leading edge of the wingtip right there, and the strobe light on the trailing edge. And again, if you don't have access to World Edit, then you can leave those out if you'd like, but that's what we're doing right here. So, next, working our way back in towards the center right there for the trailing edge, we'll place a single stonebrick top slab in towards the center from that rearmost smooth stone slab right there for the aileron detailing. Then, coming in towards the center diagonally, we have a single smooth stone slab right there, and then 2 stonebrick top slabs in towards the center. So that's 1 and 2, like so. Next, we're going to grab a temporary block here, so you can use any temporary block you'd like. I'm going to use blue concrete since it sits out from the aircraft right here. But behind this stonebrick top slab right here, this innermost one right there, we have a single temporary block, like so. And these will be markers for us to come back in later and add in the flap track fairings. It's kind of not really a big deal on a wing this tiny, but it's just a technique I like to stay consistent with, especially for our larger aircraft tutorials. So, next, we have a single stonebrick slab diagonally from that right there. Then directly in towards the center, drop down a half slab layer. That's 2 stonebrick top slabs, half slabs right there, my apologies, in towards the center. Then from that outermost one of the 2 right there, we have a single temporary block behind it, with 1 more going down, like so. Next, in towards the center of that stonebrick slab right there, we have 1 more temporary block and 1 more going down right there. Then forwards from the top one right there, we have 1 stonebrick slab there, with 1 more directly in towards the center. Then drop down a slab layer, and we have 1 top slab right there, directly in towards the center, like so. And that should meet up with your wing root right there. So, next up for our layering outlines right here. It's a pretty flat wing, especially in this scale, so there's not much we have to worry about right here. It's just 2 outlines in total, and they're very small at that. So, from that jungle trapdoor right there in the wing root, we're going to place a single smooth stone half slab directly out to the side right there. And that will finish up our first layering outline right here. And then for our next layer up right here, you'll see we have this cobblestone half slab right there in the leading edge. We're going to come diagonally in towards the center right there with a single smooth stone slab right there. And that will already connect diagonally up with that stonebrick slab right there and finish off that outermost layer. So, that's all of our layering outlines in place right here. So we're just going to fill in these spaces that we have right there with the smooth stone slabs. So, everything that's inside that outline we just created, and inside the outline of the next layer up, is just going to get filled in just like that. And same thing on the outer layer right there. So, that's the top surface of the wing complete. Then to fill in the underside right here, we're going to come to this very base layer right here from the wing root, where we have this cobblestone slab at the front right there. We're going to place a smooth stone slab diagonal to that right there. Then 1 more out diagonally right there, with 1 more directly behind it. And that'll connect up with that stonebrick slab right there, and we can just fill in that space like so. And for our final layer out right here, we'll place just a single smooth stone slab in that gap right there. It's just going to be 3 blocks across right there for that final layering outline right there. And that is everything for the shape of the wings. So now we'll just add in those flap track fairings I mentioned earlier. So we have 3 flap track fairings in total here for the 717. So coming to this outermost temporary block right there, we're going to place a single stonebrick top slab, or half slab going forwards from that temporary block right there, just to turn that into a full block there. And we can knock that temporary block out. Next, in towards the center right here, this next temporary block set right there, we're going to place a single stonebrick top slab right there, forwards from that bottommost one, with a jungle trapdoor going forwards right there. And we'll knock out those 2 temporary blocks. And for our final flap chart firing marker right here, forwards from that temporary block right there, the bottommost one, we'll place an upside-down stonebrick stair facing backwards like this, with a single stonebrick top slab forwards from that right there. And that is all three of them in place right there, so we'll just clear out those temporary blocks, and that is the wing done. So, all that's left to do now is just to mirror this on over to the right side of the aircraft. So, if you have access to World Edit, what we can do here is place a block out to the side right there, select that first position right there, and then in towards the center right there, select the second position by right-clicking with the wand at the base right there. We'll hop onto the center of the aircraft right there, type //copy, //flip, facing perpendicular to the aircraft like this, and then //paste to paste that over onto the right side, like so. Now, if you don't have access to World Edit and can't flip selections like that, then you can instead find a timestamp back to the very start of the wings in the video description below, and just build the wings on the right side of the aircraft in mirror fashion. So, either way, just make sure you have that wing on the right side of the aircraft here, and I will catch you once that's done. Alright, so then the final bit of detailing to do for the wings here is just to swap this red nav light on the right side out for its green counterpart here. So, for this we'll be using a lime carpet instead, which we'll replace that red carpet with right there. So that'll give the green navigation light on the right wingtip right there. And that is everything for the wings. Alright, so next up here we have our two Rolls-Royce BR715 engines. So, to start off, we'll come to the row of windows here from layer 3 of the fuselage. From this very last upside-down wool stair right there, from the last window right there, we have this row of wool behind that right there, from this very first foremost wool block right there. We'll drop down a layer right there and place a single smoothstone top slab right there, just like that. Next, we have diagonally out to the side here, a smoothstone full block, and then diagonally in towards the center there, a single smoothstone half slab, to make an inlet cowling looking just like that. Next, coming back from this here, we'll place actually first, we have a nether brick stair. So you see this gap right here, the single gap spacing, this block behind it right there, we're going to place a nether brick stair right there facing forwards, like so, for the intake fan there. Now that we have that, we can continue on with the cowling. So, out to the side of this right here, we have a single block of wool there, then two more going back, so that's 1 and 2. Then on top of this right there, on top of the stair that is, we'll be placing a row of 3 wool top slabs back right there, then 3 more wool top slabs out to the side there. And same thing underneath here, so underneath that stair, that's 3 wool top slabs going back, then 3 more wool top slabs out to the side right there. And then for the exhaust at the rear of the engine right here, we'll place a stonebrick full block behind that wool full block right there on the side, with a stonebrick stair in towards the center. This will be facing backwards, like this. On top of this right here, we have a stonebrick half slab, with 1 more going back, and a stonebrick half slab underneath right there, with 1 more going back. And then behind the stonebrick full block, we have a single upside-down stonebrick stair right there. And that's it for the BR715. So, we'll just do the same thing on the right side here. So, in the layer with the windows here, that first wool full block there, drop down a level, smoothstone top slab, out to the side there, smoothstone full block, and then a top slab there to round that off. Nether brick stair, a block back facing forwards for the intake fan, then 3 wool top slabs, another 3 right there, 3 wool full blocks, and then a 2x3 box of the half slabs right there. Next we have a stonebrick full block, stonebrick stair in towards the center for the exhaust, half slab above, half slab going back, top slab below, top slab going back there, and then an upside down stonebrick stair facing backwards. And with that, that is everything for the engines. So, with the engines in place, that is now everything for the in-flight aircraft. Since we only have a single block width on the inside here, we don't have an interior for this aircraft, and all that's left to do now for this tutorial is to put in the landing gear. So that means that if you are building your aircraft in flight with the landing gear retracted, then you are done with this tutorial. Congratulations! Just skip on ahead to the outro for some last important bits of information, and I will see you then. Otherwise, let's get going on those landing gear. Alright, so for the landing gear of the 717 here, we'll first start with the nose gear. So come to the nose of the aircraft here, where we have the second wool full block back there with the buttons out to either side. We're going to place a black wool full block underneath that right there. We have a stone button out to either side for the wheel rims, and on the rear here, a lever, flipped facing upwards like this, for the strut connection. And that's all there is to it for the nose gear here. So, we'll just build the main landing gear now. So for this, it's pretty much just as simple. we're going to find this quartz full block right there where the gear door is. Out to the side right here, we're going to knock out this smooth stone top slab right there and replace it with a cobblestone wall for the shock strut right here. Underneath this, we have a black wool full block. In towards the center, we're going to place a stone button only on the inside right here, because on the outside, we have a smooth stone top slab out right there, and then we'll replace that smooth stone top slab above it with an upside down stone brick stair facing outside, just like this. The gear door on the inside of the aircraft right there closes back up after the landing gear are extended, so we don't have to worry about that space or any of the gear bay or anything. The last thing we can do here is use some world edit tricks to smooth this off a little bit more. So we're going to place two cobblestone walls side by side just like this. We're going to select the rightmost one right there. Oops, have to reinstate my replace tool there. Been a couple of takes since the last one. So paste that over right there. So that will keep it from connecting up with the gear door there, just to give it a bit more spacing, as well as give you that more pillar connection in the center right there for the shock strut, while still keeping that inside connection right there for the diagonal side brace. So, with that, we'll just do the same thing on the right side of the aircraft here. So, knock out that smooth stone top slab where we have the quartz full block, cobblestone wall right there, black wool full block underneath, smooth stone top slab, stone brick upside down stair facing outwards, and then on the inside right here, a single stone button for the wheel rims. So, with that, that is everything for the landing gear, and the 717 is done. So, congratulations on completing the Boeing 717-200. Thank you so much for choosing an Aeroteam design. We hope that you enjoyed building it, and we hope that you enjoy having it as a part of your Minecraft world. Do feel free to use this in any kind of publicly available project you like, given that you, of course, provide proper credit to the Aeroteam for these designs. So, if you have built this aircraft, let us know. We'd love to see how you're using our designs. A link to our Discord server is in the video description below. Feel free to drop on in and show us what you've done. If you enjoyed, please do consider subscribing to the Aeroteam channel to be the first to see our new aircraft when they come out. Make sure to have a look through the 1-to-1 scale playlist on our channel as well for more builds in this scale to see if there's anything else that catches your interest. Anyways, that is just about it. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.